Chidananda. Shivangai Sachidananda Murte Nishpramantaya Shantai Niramhai Swami Chidananda Swami Maheshwara Om Namo Bhagavate Shivangai Om Namo Bhagavate Shivangai Om Namo Bhagavate Shivangai Hari Om Tat Sat. Radiant divinities, beloved blessed yogis and sadhaks, they have met already this morning in the prayer, chanting, prayer and meditation session. Later on, Hatha Yoga. And in this forenoon session of the second day, we are to consider a certain subject, a certain theme, a topic that is of importance, and a topic about which very little has been studied, very little has been written, very little has been known until very, very recently. Perhaps it might not be an exaggeration to say that in this century, the first great teacher who has thrown much light upon this subject of human mind with a very specific approach, in a very particular way. It would be no exaggeration to say, or it would not be wrong to say that that first great teacher has been Gurudev Swami Chidananda. Mind has been studied in the West, and you are all knowledgeable people. You all know about being who is regarded as the father of modern Occidental psychology. You have heard about Sigmund Freud, you have heard about his disciples. He was the grand, great guru, highest priest of modern Occidental psychology. And then we have heard about his two great disciples, Jung and Adler. Okay. And as you all know, Sigmund Freud himself was a medical doctor before he became interested not merely in the human body and the physiology, anatomy, physiology, and its pathology and its therapy. Before he got interested in the mind, he was mainly in this field, the different conditions of the human body, well conditioning, ill conditioning. And then, during the course of his medical practice, he became interested in this aspect also. But then, it was already a conditioned mind. Because the only material he had for study was the mind of his patients, mind of people who had already come to know certain ills of the body and troubles of the mind. And so it was not mind as such, the pure mind principle. What is mind? And that also is a question. Okay? We want to hear about mind and its control, but what is mind? What do you know of mind? Long ago, 2 or 3 centuries back, when did, John, you must be knowing, when did Caxton first invent his printing machine? Caxton, he was the originator, the original inventor of the printing. Before that, all written material was carefully written by monks in the monasteries. They were undisturbed, who had complete concentration in their work. So they secluded themselves, isolated themselves in their attics with reams and reams of paper and calligraphy. Of course, it is now a collector's item, a beautiful way in which they fill these papers with their artistic writing. But then, hundreds and thousands of pages, painstakingly written by hand. There was no printing technology. Before printing was invented, before fast transportation came into existence, before photography had been invented, for example, how did people believe that there was a China, there was a Chinese emperor, and the people were like that? Chinese and Japanese ladies, they wore small shoes, and the Chinaman had a pigtail. How did they come to know? Only they had to believe what they heard. Maybe Marco Polo went, then he brought maybe sketches. We had to believe that there was a place called China, Arabia, and camels in the deserts, vast miles and miles and miles of sand, nothing but sand. We only had to. Tales, there were tales. Hearsay. Because you wouldn't have been able to produce a photograph. Yes, I will show you this photograph. There was no photograph. Now could one print anything. So, no photography was there, no printing was there, and people wouldn't say, okay, I'll go and check up. Don't travel like that to China and go and check up to visit China and come back. Maybe it takes you a whole lifetime. Okay? Marco Polo, God knows how many years he spent trying to go from Italy, China and back. If he came back, many people were returned from, they took leave. People bid farewell if they wanted to go to the Holy Land on a pilgrimage and come back. They were not sure. At that time, these were only concepts. We had to believe what we heard, what travelers who had the guts in them to put it out or do it by horse and camel and crossing rivers by boats. Then they came and told us we had to believe. Otherwise, there was no means of all man's knowledge in this world is gathered through perception of the senses. We know there is certain thing called a tree or a leaf or a cloud or a stone or a rock or a blue sky or a moon and the sun and the stars, people, animals. We know either because we have seen them. If you have not seen them, if we hear a bird plucking away in the forest, we know there is some bird in the bush, because we hear them or yes, we touch them. Oh, say, what is the thing called light which I must never enjoy? What are the blessings of the sight? Oh, tell your poor blind boy. See, blind boy. Oh, say, what is this thing called light? People talk of light, how bright it is, but I have not seen it. Please tell me. I have never seen the sun. I don't know what it is. I can never enjoy it. What are the blessings of sight? Please tell your poor blind boy. So either then they can touch. Now you see, the touch. Braille is there. And or by taste, white powder, whether it is sweet or whether it is saltish, how do I know? Taste it. What flower is this? Even if you cannot see it, you cannot see its shape, its color, but oh yes, this is the rose. This is magnolia. This is jasmine. Oh, lavender. So, the entire range of knowledge a human being has are gathered through sense perception. We know of the universe, we know of things in this universe only through what we have seen, heard, tasted, touched, or smelled. Now, how do you know the mind? Have you seen it? No. Have you touched it? No. Have you smelled it? No. Have you tasted it? No. It doesn't make any noise. It makes no sound. It's functioning. If in the basement some motor starts humming immediately, you know, because you might never see it, but you can hear it. So a thing which is not within the scope of sense perception, yet you say, you presume that it is there. How do you know it? Or just as air, wind, it has no color, it has no taste, it has no shape, it has no size, it has no dimensions, but oh yes, treetops are swaying, grass is rippling. I infer its existence, but then, and don't be in a hurry, even this inference is because you have seen. You have seen the treetops swaying, you have seen the grass rippling, because you have seen it, or heard it whistling pine tops. So there, the inference also is based upon a sense perception of one kind or other. Without sense perception, we just cannot. But yet, you take it for granted that you know that a mind exists. How? How will you come to this conclusion? This brings us to the question, what is the mind? If it is something which you can conclude does exist, even though you have not at all perceived it in any way, through any one of the five senses, I have been told, then it's like being told about. But now you see how far man is advanced. We now know, we can believe that Armstrong stepped upon the moon. Why? Because we have seen it. We have got photographs of it. NASA is full of displays, and we have seen it on TV. But here's it. No, it's more than here's it. I know it because I have experienced it. So there is a process beyond sense perception which can be a proof of the existence of a thing, which can be a source of knowing something, knowledge. What is this experience? I know I have a mind because I have experienced it. How I have experienced it? Will you please give an example? Yes, I can give an example. Okay. I know that I have a toothache. Ache is something that cannot be smelt or touched or tasted or seen or heard, but I know because I feel it. I have experienced it. I am actually undergoing pains. And the most common of such experiences worldwide, of course, pain, heat and cold and other, but most common all over the world, hunger and thirst. You cannot prove to anyone that you are hungry. But you don't have anyone to prove it to you. Okay? Because it's your experience. Same way about thirst. Of course, there are other things. They are not perpetual. Day in and day out. See? All the 12 months of the year, throughout your life. Other things also we experience, but they come in fear, for example. Fear, anxiety, grief, disappointment. We know such things exist even though they are not perceived. Because they have at one time or another been your experience. See? Intangible. See? Non-material, but they have been your experience. So you can say I experience. But then, just like the universal experience of hunger and thirst is something which goes to prove that it is possible to affirm the existence of something, though it is not in the scope of your sense experience, sense perception, which alone forms the basis of all human knowledge. Now, I can immediately understand when you say it is possible to experience and you say my hunger, my thirst, I can immediately understand because this example is my experience also. Can you give me an experience of your mind? How you have experienced mind, which I can also relate to. I can also say yes, that I also have felt it. So before this we have to come to some definitive understanding of this fact, this principle for our mind. How can you define mind? It must have been well studied. Otherwise, a whole science, an entire science, which has now become world famous, could not have been built upon, because the whole of Raja Yoga is nothing but mind control. The very definition of yoga by Patanjali Maharshi, the most illustrious and well-known of expounders of the science of Raja Yoga, the definition of yoga is yogas chitta vritti nirodha. It is a complete inhibition or subdual of the activity of the mind stuff. Chitta is the mind stuff. Vritti is a mind activity, a mind activity. Total cessation of mind activity is state of yoga. Vedanta is also studied place of mind in conditioning human consciousness. And they have come out with this most revealing statement, manaveva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. Manaveva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. Bandha mokshayoho. For the bondage as well as liberation, Manushyanam, of the human beings. Karanam, the cause or the reason. Manameva, only the mind. Mind alone is the cause or the reason of the human being's bondage or liberation. Nothing else, mind alone. And now we have many Western poets. It is not four walls that doth the prison make. It is a state of mind. If you think you are free even in the dungeon of the prison. The spirit of man can still feel free. And if you are bound, even now, if you are out of prison, you can still feel like a trapped animal. If your consciousness becomes harassed and bound up to these things that beset you in daily life, you will feel trapped. You will know you will be a free person from the point of view of law and prison. You may be free to move wherever you want, but yet you will feel trapped in some situation. Therefore, it is the mind it is that makes the heaven or hell of man. Not anything like that. Therefore, they have evidently made great study. And ultimately, they came to this conclusion, came to this definition in an indirect way, and later on proved it directly also. That was a conclusion they came to. They said, what is it? It is something unique which the human individual possesses that makes for the difference between him and all the rest of living beings. And so, upon this basis, they gave this famous definition: man is a thinking animal. Biologically, man is an animal, that you all know. But what no animal can do, and which he alone has the unique good fortune of being able to do, is to think, to reason, to perceive, see differences, analyze, and understand the implication of these differences. Understand the implication of these differences and act according to it. Choose, select, reject. All these functions, they say, these functions pertain to that factor which makes man man, namely the thinking, reasoning faculty. Man is a rational man is a thinking being. He alone is. Therefore, he is Manushya, because he has got mana. Mind endowed animal is a Manushya. So, he has a psyche. Psyche is this. Even then, all right, that definition can I prove to myself? Yes, sitting here, without moving from where I am sitting, without making use of any part of my physical body, I can sit here, and if someone says 5 into 5, Swami, 25, I hear. 2 and 2 make? What did you do? To jump up and say 4. What is that plane called which has long nose like a bird's beak? What is that plane called? Condor. How did you get this answer? Did you do something? You will get up and run with your hands or your feet or So with what were you able to get this answer? So we infer that there is some function that is supraphysical. There is some function that does not have to utilize any part of your physical body. Even a palsied person, completely bedridden, cannot move hands or feet or anything completely, and yet has all the life 24 hours, day and night, has to be maintained, has to be fed. But yet, the social worker or only or a sympathetic daughter or sister who is looking after such a person, if she wants to keep her engaged, if she comes with a magazine full of riddles and puzzles and says, oh, I am trying to find a 6-lettered word starting with B and means such and such a thing. And this rigid person who cannot move a single limb can merely open the eyes and close the eyes, cannot even, that person can give the answer. What is it that? Because there is something inside that is able to function, do all that is necessary, take all the steps, put letters together, eliminate, and think of the meaning and give the answer. So it is the thinking faculty. It is the function of the systematic thought. Systematic thought. A system based upon some logic. Some applied logic. And so we know now that we possess this mind because we are able to do many things with it. We are able to remember. We are able to plan. We are able to plan. We are able to multiply, subtract, add, divide, and we are able to do 100,000 different things without using any of our physical faculties, merely to something mysterious, unseen, inscrutable, but we know it is there. We are able to solve crossword puzzles, we are able to answer results, solve complex situations put before us. Yes? So therefore, it is very much there. Because of its presence only, we are able to function as rational human beings. We are able to solve vexing problems. So it always functions, always functions. So they studied it, they knew it was there, and they studied the laws of its behavior, how it operates, what it does. Now, with all that study, the recent Occidental psychologists, with all that study, they came up with a lot of knowledge about this mysterious, unseen faculty within, which makes the human being the human being, and therefore is able to give dominance over all the rest of living beings, even though physically, if the elephant took it into its mind, it would squash a human being like an egg. And then he sits on the elephant and is able to command it to do whatever he wants it to do. Those who have been to Burma and Malaysia and other places know how much work they take out of this elephant, especially in the forest department. What is a man before an elephant? What is a man before a powerful stallion, say, Arab horse? What is a man before a big, say, mastiff? What is a man before a towering camel? But yet, we make them our slaves. We are able to enslave them just because they don't have mind. We have got this mysterious faculty of mind. Much has been studied. But most of it has been to acquire knowledge about the behavior of the mind, how it operates, how it behaves, why it behaves. The uniqueness, the speciality of the study of mind in the East, especially in India, is that the approach that took to the study of mind was with a view, how can I master it? How can I control it? In the West, the knowledge of the mind which they got, they wanted to know how I can apply it to my advantage. That is also a positive approach, no doubt. It's creative, it's positive, it's constructive, it produces results, brings things. And so they are able to do marvelous things out of their application of the mind. But despite so much they are able to get done through their knowledge of the mind and apply knowledge of their mind, they are always afraid of it because they are bugged by it, they are plagued by it, and sometimes it can play havoc with them. Okay? You may be a brilliant scientist knowing to do so much with your intelligence, applied intelligence, discover, invent, do 100 different things. But then if you get a fit of jealousy, maybe you take a revolver and shoot someone and then get hauled for manslaughter. Or maybe you work yourself in a terrific fit of anger and then maybe you have a stroke. Or you do something, build up your son or get into a fight with the neighbor or something. And so, and also it can put you into states of acute anxiety, and then all your knowledge notwithstanding, you are a helpless person. You may be having 3 PhDs in physics and chemistry or electronics and all that, but if something happens to your mind, then you are totally become helpless. Then your wife has to take you to a doctor or take you to a psychiatrist and try to get help. Okay? And so, this is a area of the human individual's relation with one's own mind that seems to be of more vital relevance to the human being, his life, his happiness or absence of it, his success or failure in one's own field of activity and living of one's life. And unless this area is explored and something is got which can make the human individual either immune to the mind, no matter what condition you are. I refuse to be thrown up or pulled down, affected. Okay? No, I will retain my integrity. I will not succumb to weakness. You see, if this is not done, what can happen to a human individual? Human individual has a nervous breakdown. He can enter into a psychotic state, or he can become absolutely insane, or do something totally irrational and get into deep trouble. And that such a thing is possible even to the best of people. Okay? Even to the best of people was graphically brought out by a very genesis, the origin of the Bhagavad Gita. See, one of the most renowned of heroes of his contemporary times, Arjuna. He was a warrior class, not easily perturbed or not easily cowed down by anything. Person with great deal of strength. He was warrior class. He was a renowned warrior, and he was renowned as a great hero. And he was young. See, it was not as though he was a person who had been much assailed by the vicissitudes of life and gradually contending with them, he got worn out, and so he was already in a bad state. No, he was in the prime of youth, he was a young man, he was in perfect health, and he was enthusiastic until that moment. Do battle, because he was chafing under the injustice that had been perpetrated upon his entire fraternity, his 5 brothers and his family, mother and wife, all that. And therefore, he was wanting to teach the culprits a lesson. So with full enthusiasm, he willingness, voluntarily had entered into this arena of battle. And there, in this positive condition, what happens to this man? This young, youthful warrior, fully clad, capable of attaining victory in this battle, also not as though he got the jitters at the last moment. On the contrary, he said, if I enter into this battle, all these people are going to be slaughtered. I know what I am capable of doing. My God, shall I wade through this blood to get back our rightful kingdom? What is the use? Slaughtering brothers, cousins, nephews, uncles, elders. It is much better I don't have anything at all. The very prospect of it, he made his head reel. And he began to tremble. His mouth became dry. Perspiration broke out in streams and on his face. Knees began to wobble. See? He was in a state heading to a total breakdown, and he did have a breakdown. 18 chapters of pep talk in order to kill him, in order to make him come out of this abject state. I mean, he was just blabbering. He was not able to stand. He was not able to hold his bow also. He slipped out of it because everything was he was shy. And he said, no, I cannot. Everything is going back. My head is whirling. And my limbs are trembling. I am not able to stand up. My weapon is slipping out of my hands. Oh God, no. I will not fight. I will not enter into this bloody battle. So, why? Because the mind got the better of him. Mind has emotion, has anxiety, has fear. What am I going to do? What is this? So, in all its various levels and manifestations, mind got the upper hand and totally overcame the strong man. Physically was strong, but he broke down like this. His willpower, everything broke down. He had no more defenses. So he was reduced to an abject figure, weeping, trembling and weeping. Krishna had to tell him, what is this? What has happened to you? I cannot believe you. You, Arjuna. See? Unbelievable. It is impossible. You should not. Snap out of it. Come out of it. What is this you are demonstrating before you? What will people say looking at you? Those who had such great idea and opinion of you as a great warrior, a great hero, indomitable, invincible person, if they start laughing, you will make yourself. It is worse than death for a person to have a very high, great name before equals and his compeers, to be made fun of, to be laughed. What is this? It is worse than death. This is heaven closing. Give up this chicken-heartedness. He uses the word Hridaya Daurbalyam. There is a weakness of heart, a weakness of See, give it up and stand up and fight. Ksudram is shameful. Ksudram hridaya daupalyam tekpotishta parantapa. Oh, one who used to make others afraid, who has brought fear in the hearts of others. You to be succumbing to this state, get up. It means he was unable, with all his powers and heroism and abilities and capacities, he succumbed to the power of the mind. And Krishna had to tell him, no, you must not give way to this weakness, you must master your mind. Once again, assert your mastery over your mind and put these moods off. And he did succeed in the end. He did succeed in the end. Long last. He had to go through 15 chapters. This was at the, he had to go through 16 chapters. The abject breakdown was the end of the first chapter. And at the end of the 18th chapter, he says, yes, now all my doubts are clear. Now I am ready. I shall do your bidding. At the end of it. So he had to go through 16 chapters in order to rehabilitate Arjuna back into an original condition of positivity and all that. It shows that Buddha long ago said, Buddha always used to teach by asking questions and answering them himself. He used to say, which man, O bhikkhus, which man, O bhikkhus, is more powerful, is the real conqueror, the one who leads great armies, hosts of the armed people into enemy territory and rousts them and defeats them and takes possession of the territory by conquest. Is he the conqueror or one who subdues not the outer armies of enemies but subdues his own senses and mind and conquers himself, becomes a master. Verily I say unto you, it is not the one who leads great armies into enemy territory and conquers the conqueror, but one who subdues his own senses and mind. He indeed is the real conqueror. He is real strong man. So he answers it like that. There is a very, very terse, but very significant saying. Jagat jitam tena ena jitam mana. Jagat means this whole universe, the world. Jagat jitam tena, by him indeed is the world conquered. Ena jitam mana, by whom his mind has been conquered. One who has attained victory over one's mind, verily he has attained victory over the whole world. Because the world will not be able to affect such a person. The world has no power over such a person. One who has subdued and attained victory over one's mind, no matter what the world does, what life does, leaves the person absolutely unperturbed, untouched. Jagat jitam tena yena jitam mana. This therefore was the approach taken by the ancients. No matter what man has amassed, but he is still a poor thing if he has not been able to subdue his own mind. Otherwise, that mind can play with this person like a puppet at the end of his string, make him dance to its tune. Now high, now low, now laughing, now weeping. See? So you should not be in such a position, unfortunate position of a plaything in the hands of the vagaries of this fickle mind. Therefore, they took this approach. We have to study the mind in order to see how we can subdue it. Know all its tricks, know all its behavior, know what laws operate in its behavior. Get this knowledge, and then with this knowledge, subdue the mind. So that it becomes to us an instrument we can make use of. We should not be at the other end, it being the upper end and making use of it. Right? That is a very undesirable situation for a human being. Because ultimately, the great ones realized man was not only more than his body and his senses, man was also more than his mind and all his vagaries and weaknesses and its fickleness. He was more than the mind. See? He was a radiant center of divine consciousness, a radiant center of all the positive. See? When we speak of Bhagavan, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, we have potential within us for that omnipotence and omniscience. That power to make your life what you want, to be the master of your destiny. But that can be made manifest only if you are first subdued your own mind. And in simple, common sense language, it will mean first put your house in order. Then go about putting the world in order. Ramatirtha therefore said, wanted, reformers. He asked someone to print posters. Wanted, reformers. Reformers, not of society and others. Themselves. First reform. And the essence of self-culture is first and foremost getting the mind out of your control, mastering the mind. Then you can do what you want as you want. Otherwise, every now and then, you will sidetrack. You will try to do something as you want to do, the mind will come and say, no, and then drag you some other way. And then we lament and start all over again. Okay? It reminds me of Mark Twain. Mark Twain, when he entered the club and he heard two people discussing about one was saying it's very easy to give up bad habits and then go on with it. Other was contradicting, for example, drinking, smoking. Very difficult. Once it catches hold of you, try as much as you may, you cannot get rid of it. It will come back again. Mark Twain bottle. Listen, what are you to discuss? How difficult it is to give up tobacco habit. Oh, nonsense. Easy. Smoking, for example, very easy. I've given it up so many times. So, this is the problem. You do it, but then again the mind subtle. Because it is inside, subtle, we don't know. And therefore, now the question comes, a thing which we don't know, we know very little about. The most that we know is, we know that it exists. We know that it exists because we have seen it functioning within us as thought process. So due to that apparent thought process, we are able to do many things. We are able to understand, we are able to infer so many things. Actually, we are creatures of mind. Creatures of mind. If the mother of the house has prepared the breakfast, given the early breakfast to a couple of children and to children, and then packed their lunch in the lunch box and went and all right, and then send them off to carry the school bus. And afterwards, she has given a breakfast to her man and sent him off to catch his train. And the moment he has gone into the office and the children are running into the school, she is now starting to live in a realm of her own. I hope I've given breakfast to John in time. I hope he's able to catch his train. If you miss, he'll have bad time in the office. When he comes back here, I'll have to answer him. So she starts imagining, and then afterwards I hope the children have a good day. This is today is a test they have to take in this subject. I hope they fare well. And then later on, what shall I, as the afternoon wears off, what shall I cook for her? Children when they come back, and now if it's starting to be cloudy, oh, I hope the children won't got caught in the rain. And then if by some chance time for their arrival has come but they have not arrived, oh, then what might have happened to them? I hope worst imagination will come. Because you see, you keep reading the worst things always in the front page of the newspaper. Train and bus pollution at the railroad crossing and that and this. So she works herself into a state almost of then wants to ring up the Joneses to know whether their children have arrived. And after all, children might have thought of visiting with some friends, and then they might have gone. Children are thoughtless. They don't think we should first of all inform mommy, otherwise she'll work herself into a state of anxiety, neurosis. And so, in the four walls of the room, moving through between the front door and the kitchen and the room, so the mind, she lives in the mind. The whole thing. And so this is the way in which we are creatures of the mind. We are constantly up and down and swinging this side and that side through thoughts. So, control of the mind became the special approach of the Hindu sages and seers, because they found that the entire happiness and misery of man depends upon mind, and the whole question of bondage and liberation and making this life into a process of attaining liberation all depends upon how you are able to tackle the mind. And therefore, their science of mind was science of mind mastery, mind control. Here it was, and I said Gurudev was one of the pioneers, because I do not know of any systematic treatment of the mind, any knowledgeable work about mind, its mysteries, its behavior, its laws, what it is, the analysis of the mind and its contents and its various faces, various manifestations, and ultimately its mastery, disciplining of such a mind. I don't know of any book that has existed within my knowledge before Gurudev's mind, its mysteries and control came up, before conquest of mind came up, before thought power came up. Much later, see, one brilliant monk of the Ramakrishna mission called Swami Chidananda, he wrote 2 parts, a book called Yogic Psychology, see, Yoga Psychology. Ramakrishna, he was in charge of one of the centers, one of the oldest of New York, see, New York, Ramakrishna Mission, Ramakrishna Vedanta Society of New York. New York has 2 such ashrams simultaneously. One on one side of Central Park, another side of Central Park. They are still there. And there was a period when Swami Chidananda was the president of one of the New York centers. He has brought out these wonderful books. It has become a standard textbooks on Eastern psychology in universities, Harvard University. He was teaching for a while in Harvard. Chidananda, yoga psychology, Eastern psychology. The study of the mind made by people who wanted to know how they can control it, because the great master, expounder of yoga, Patanjali said, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is the total cessation of mind activity, activity of the mind stuff, functioning of the mind stuff. I at least got into possession of the first part, the earliest edition of Master's book, Mind's Mysteries and Control, in the mid-30s. In the mid-30s, when I was just a college student, just graduated from high school and entered college. I think it was in 1934. 1934. Gita Press. It cost half an Indian rupee. At that time, there were 100 and odd pages. Such worth its weight in gold. It cost half an Indian rupee. Now today, in India, an American dollar is equivalent to 17 rupees.
Yes.
About 17 rupees. So, 1 by 34th of a dollar was the cost of that original edition. Mind's Mysteries and Control Part 1. See, it was limp bound, like a paperback. Before that, I have not read of any book treating so much. Now, of course, in the West, after the influence of Swami Vivekananda and Ramatirtha and others, people like Emerson and other emerging people, they began to write about the positive application of the powers of the mind. And so it gave birth to a whole movement called the New Thought movement, where they spoke about the creative and the positive things the mind can do if you can harness its powers. And one of the pioneers on the purely Occidental side is Eddie Baker. Mary Baker Eddy. Science of what? Christian Science. Christian Science. And they, of course, took that mind is a power given by God, and therefore it is meant to be utilized for our own highest betterment, and therefore you can make use of it, and then it can you can master all your conditions. Whatever you see outside is nothing but the result of what you hold in your mind. And so the outer thing is only a manifestation, projection of your mind is what your condition is. Therefore, if you make your mind your positive instrument, then everything will turn out to be positive and creative that way. That was that. And it is only much later many other people have carried further this study of the mind, and now we have got positive power of positive thinking, and then authors like James Allen and Lilly Allen, they came, they spoke about as a man thinketh, so he becometh, and then much later on psycho-cybernetics of Maxwell, Hall, and then Silva, mind control, but it's all applying the mind to get results. But first of all, let's apply ourselves to completely getting control of the mind. That is the most important thing. And mind control, therefore, was the approach taken by the Indian teachers. And how did they set about doing it? They said, you see, mind is inside, mind is invisible, mind is subtle. We cannot We have no means of controlling it in an ordinary way in which we could control something other than something outside of us. And if you ask now, who is to control the mind? By whom is the mind to be controlled? By me. I wish to control my mind. So who are you? Where one became a real proper, but one did not know oneself as apart from the mind at all. See? Yeah. This is normal human understanding. We are what we are thinking. See? I think, therefore I am. Therefore I am one with the mind. I exist and I am one with the mind. Not until and unless one knows of oneself as something apart from the mind, distinct, different and apart from the mind, true mind control is always a will of the wisp. Always going to elude. It will be like a person's effort to reach that place where the earth and the sky meet, the horizon. You go and you move towards it, it never keeps the city. You never get to it. Most the crucial point in control of the mind is that you must know yourself as some being, quite distinct and different, quite apart from it, and above it. If you know of yourself, then I can talk of wanting to control the mind. When I don't know of myself as anything different or apart from it, how can I control the mind? Yes, until that ability has been aroused in your consciousness of knowing yourself as apart from the mind, until that, you know the adage, set a thief to catch a thief. Right? If the police department is at its wit's end and it has to admit total failure in tracing someone who has got away after a big crime, and in that desperate state, they enlist the aid of some person from the criminal fraternity, criminal world, who has got greater access in the movements of these people, and say, hush, hush, please give us the know-how and we will not let it out that we have. So they catch hold of someone in the same area and through him try to nab the person concerned. That is very much the case, situation in the mind. We have to try to evoke within the mind some factor through which you will be able to control your mind. Luckily for us, the study of the mind by the ancient Indian teachers, the Hindu masters of yoga, that study revealed to them that mind functioned in 4 distinct aspects, functional aspects. Mind is one. It is our inner faculty of thinking and reasoning. But this inner faculty works in specific areas. It functions in very, very distinct functional aspects. And they saw it, they were amazed. And they utilized this knowledge when they set about trying to launch upon this discipline of controlling the mind, self-control. First and foremost, they said, there is the mind. There is the mind, the super computer. From the moment of birth of a child, it begins, it may not take in, data gets put into it. See? This computer begins to be fed. The input starts when the child first comes out, sees the light of day, and opens it, right? Input goes on. And is first only input, only data being put in. As the child begins to grow, this takes a subtle change. Data takes the form of programming. It starts getting programmed. Okay? It starts getting programmed. And yes, if I want the bottle and start making some signals, and it knows what exactly the signal to make. And if I want mommy, I have to make some other signals. So mommy knows when it's crying for being fed, when it's when it's crying to be attended to, paid attention to, or when it's crying because of some discomfort it has started feeling. So all is different, it gets programmed. And afterwards, as it begins to, the unfolding of the mind and intelligence takes place, this data process goes on, but then it begins to classify it, shift it, and put it away. And it knows exactly what all it has put away. And so when the time comes for it, it wants, it takes out of it. Where did I see that face? So, memory. So there is a vast repository of all impressions, of all perceptions, of all experiences, everything that has been brought before it, just as a camera catches the image of anything that is exposed before the lens. In the same way, there is this depth. There is one aspect of the mind which contains all the data right from his birth. Of course, at least from his birth. Of course, they went beyond. They carry on the study. And they said even a newborn infant does not come with a clean blank sheet of paper. And then, who is it that brings out whatever one wants and puts away whatever one wants? And if it wants to bring out half a dozen different things and coordinate them, who is it? So there is some being who functions in not only an intelligent way, but in a purposeful way. I want to remember that. All right. So I remember that. I want to remember something else. All right. I remember. I will tell you. Yes. Now I remember it. It may be a telephone number. It may be a name of a medicine, prescription. It may be a recollection of something else. So that being is the second important factor, more important than you see. The second important factor, the being who operates upon the mind. If there is an account in which you have put a lot of money, there must be someone to put more money or withdraw money, sign checks and cashes. That is the I, second aspect of mind. And third aspect of mind is the very specialized function of analysis, investigation, research, probing, trying to find out. That is the application of logic and reason, and this very, very specialized function of mind we all know as intelligence. Intelligence. Buddhi. Now we know mind as the repository, as the storehouse, the computer type of dimension from which you can take anything you want. And the one who works it, the eye, and then one who does very gets specialized things done to the mind. And the specialized activity of the mind is intelligence, the rational intelligence. These three we know. And the fourth is the unknown quantity. The fourth is the unknown quantity. A thing before which one is helpless. Whether we want it or not, 24 hours this mind is active. Goes on unveiling thoughts. And these thoughts have no rhyme, no reason, and they don't ask your permission. They don't say, teacher, no. They have their own will. As they want, they come and they go. And they don't stop. All the time this way. All the time. You have no control over it. You are just a helpless witness. And sometimes you try to control over it and come back with your finger burnt, as you say. Nothing can be done about it. This thought process is ceaseless. It goes backwards into past, it goes forward into future, and it goes into all types of areas. It has no reasoning. It can sometimes think the most absurd of thoughts, go into suspicion, go into doubt, jump to conclusions, make you do all sorts of very silly things, and sometimes you surprise persons with whom you have been living maybe for 24 months, 20 years, 30 years. What's this? What is your behaving? One never knows what the other can cook up in the mind, because that person never knows what is cooking in the mind. If the person knows oneself, you can perhaps predict. The person, oneself is helpless. Oneself doesn't know what will happen at what time. Therefore, how can you say anything about it? Therefore, they say the greatest study of man is man. See? When they said, oh man, know thyself, they did not mean in a highly Vedantic or metaphysical or philosophical way. First start by trying to know yourself. Try to be aware what's going on inside you. So there is a class of yogis. There is a class of yogis whose main sadhana is the Guru tells him everything about the mind, and then says, all right, from tomorrow, from 5:30 in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock in the morning, and again from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, again 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Do nothing, go and sit quietly. Sit quietly and watch the mind. Allow it to go. Let it go where it wants. Let it think other thought that is not. But you just don't get involved in the thought. Watch it. See what it does. What all thoughts come. Watch the cinema, the screen of the mind. The whole sadhana is thus trying to observe the mind and developing in themselves a type of objectivity. See, an impersonal objectivity, let us just study. Let's do where it wants. And by that itself, if you succeed in gradually getting a state of objectivity, by that very fact, to that extent, they have already started conquering the mind, because they liberate themselves from its constant influence and effect upon them. They refuse to be affected. No, my mind is to watch. Let me see. So, and they should not allow, when all these thoughts come, they should not start allowing emotions to arise in them. sentiments arise, because different thoughts evoke different emotions. No. Dispassionately. This is the sadhana most of the gurus in the not simple life. See, watching the mind. They call it the liable. Let's watch the mind until it grows. It grown widely, going about here and there in 10 directions. And you go on watching it. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, patiently, not giving up, but always keeping apart. When you get involved, suddenly recollect yourself, no. Once again take yourself. Keep the objectivity without being affected. As you go on watching the mind, then they say after weeks and months, gradually its waywardness and vagaries will start gradually becoming lesser and lesser and lesser. This is one of the ways in which they try to tackle the mind. Standing back and becoming objective. Right? Now, what is the most prolific output of the mind? In what way? Thoughts. Absolutely uncontrolled, irrelevant, spontaneous thoughts. Thinking of spontaneous thoughts is one. But then there is one feature it always develops. It cannot just resist. After some thought, immediately this feature will develop. And that is in the form of some wishfulness, some wish, some desire. See, some wanting to do either this thing or that thing, or wanting to go here or there, wanting to see this or that, wanting to fulfill some desire. Something. It's always a wish, a desire propelling. It takes the form of these desires. From them we can know what state it is in. From the quality of the desires, we can know what state it is in. And then, as likely or not, the mind always, when it takes the form of these desires, it always wants to manifest itself in and through one or other of the senses. It gets the desire either to see, it gets the desire either to hear, it gets the desire either to touch something, feel something, or to taste something. Some senses it makes as avenue to project its desire, manifest itself as desire. Now, these observed facts regarding the behavior of the mind gives you the necessary tools as to how you can set about controlling the mind. How these facts you gather about the mind, its activities and behavior, puts into your possession certain tools to control the mind, that we will consider when we meet for the next talk. Now, we cease here, stop here, and take up the, we have come thus far. And the next step is, in what way these facts which you have gathered about the mind, what way do they constitute so many tools to set about trying to discipline it, set about trying to regulate its conduct. That we will see. God bless you. Hari Om. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. चैतन्यं शाश्वतं शान्तं व्योमातीतं निरञ्जनं नादबिन्दुकलातीतं तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिम् द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुः आनन्दमानन्दकरं प्रसन्नं ज्ञानस्वरूपं निजबोधयुक्तं योगेन्द्रमेढ्यं भवरोगवैद्यं श्रीमद्गुरुं नित्यमहं नमामि। श्रीमद्गुरुं नित्यमहं नमामि। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की afternoon.